Hail, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought. This place hasn't seen such bustle in centuries, I'll wager. Need a hand getting anywhere? Not far. It's straight ahead, just past the royal encampment. Most of your fellas are in the valley with the army, but the recruits seem to be staying up here for now. Used to be a fortress long time ago, so I understand. Back in the days when the Wilders used to invade the lowlands. You were just on the eastern side of the ruin. The Tower of Ishal is there, but Tairn Logain's closed it off until the battle. This side is the King's camp. We've got the Grey Wardens here, the Circle of Magi, the Chantry. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody important. Quartermaster, he's just a bit to the northwest. Probably in his tent. He and Tairn Logain are on the southwest side of the camp. The king likes to spend time with his soldiers, though. Sometimes even without his bodyguards. Drives Tairn Logain wild, that does. A few mages, yes. They even brought those creepy quiet fellows, the Tranquil. Gives me the shivers when they talk, all cold and even. They're to the north of here, bunched up with a herd of Templars glaring at them. Can't miss it. This is Ferelden, isn't it? The king has his kennels on the west side of camp. Stinks from all the hounds. These aren't cute puppies, though. Some of those dogs bite the darkspawn and get too much of that blood in them. It's like poison. Slow, painful death. Terrible. Go on, then. Try heading north. I think he was sent with a message to the mages. Good luck to you, then.
Greetings. King Caelan is not in his tent right now? I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Tairn Logain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off. The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible? That's how the Tairn feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny that Tairn called him reckless, and they fought about the queen. She's the Tairn's daughter. He wasn't happy about something she did or the king did, I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't discuss it. As you wish.
Look carefully, man. This wretched thing is a darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart, but don't listen to those old wives' tales. They can be killed. Stick them with your sword enough, and they go down. Their blood is black as sin and poisonous. Don't even touch it. You get tainted with that blood, and you may as well slit your throat. We've lost many dogs already. Had to muzzle them to keep them from biting. It's a long and painful way to die.
This is supposed to be the battle that sends these darkspawn back underground. You believe that?
I don't know what to believe. We've won every battle, but there's more of them each time.
Makes you wonder if them Grey Wardens are right.
I don't want to think about that.
Sounds like the perfect time to get drunk, if you ask me. The last scouting party made it back last night. Barely.
What do you mean?
Only 2 of them made it, and one was minus a leg. Said they encountered some darkspawn that was 10 feet tall, with horns as long as your arm. The injured one died last night. They said his blood was already turning black.
Baker's breath. Where are they all coming from?
My faith sustains me. I shall not fear 10,000 men should they set themselves against me. Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked, and do not falter.
There are lots of darkspawn, different kinds. We're getting reports of things we've never even heard of. Our short friend here, for instance, is something called a genlog. They're pretty common in the Horde, but we've seen others much larger. We don't know where these new darkspawn are coming from, or what they can do. All I can say is to use caution. There aren't any we've seen that won't die once they bleed enough.
You approach the tent of Tairn Loghain. State your business. How can you not know of Loghain? He helped free Ferelden. He was the brains behind King Maric's armies and drove out those damned Orlesians. King Maric rewarded him by making him a Tairn. Can you imagine? A commoner became a high nobleman just like that. Without Loghain, you can bet the king wouldn't be winning against these Darkspawn. He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities. I suppose, as long as we talk quietly. He and the king have been arguing for days. The Tairn's known the king since he was swaddled, so they don't stand on ceremony. The Tairn speaks his mind, and the king yells right back. Personally, I think the king should do what Tairn Loghain tells him. Without the Tairn, we wouldn't be doing as well here as we are. I suppose you have a message for him. Hold on, then.
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume. His Majesty could not contain his excitement after your meeting. How could I not hear about you? Kaelin's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden? Maric respected the Grey Wardens. They have an honored place in the hearts of our people. But Maric would have understood that it takes more than legends to win a battle. That's not an argument I'll repeat here. I hear you're from the Circle of Magi. First Enchanter spoke highly of you. A great achievement, for one so young. I don't suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you? If Kaelin has his way, you will. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sort. Then simply pray.
You found our tent, I see. Is there something you need? Do not wait too long before seeking out Alistair. As I said earlier, we will need to begin preparations for the joining before nightfall.
It's good to have Grey Wardens amongst us. With their help, perhaps we can push these things back underground for good.
We must see to our hounds. To an Ash warrior, a hound is as much a weapon as a blade.
I do not wish to speak. Not before the battle begins.
You there, elf. What's your name?
It's Pick, sir.
Go tell Tairn Loghain that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Hello? I'm sorry, is there something you needed? You want to talk to me? I'm not in trouble, am I? Oh, that's a relief. I'm one of the king's servants, which means I run messages around and make deliveries all day long. If you fall behind, you get the switch from the quartermaster. Oh, I wish I were back at the palace. There are far more places to hide. I better go. If the quartermaster sees me chatting, he'll think I'm being lazy, and that'll be my hide. But it was nice talking to someone.
We stand here in this hour, good folk of Ferelden, and we contemplate the death that may await. Death is no...
So, any last wishes I can help fulfill before you head into battle? Life is fleeting, you know. That pretty face could be decorating some darkspawn spear this time tomorrow. Shall I take that quiet glare as a no? Oh, well, too bad. Well, you're not what I thought you'd be. Not a woman, yet here you are. The name's Daveth. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they cooked this ritual up just for our benefit. I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds. Cannibals, beasts, witches, and now Darkspawn. What isn't to be scared of? It's all too secretive for me. Makes my nose twitch. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we have a choice. Oh, I'll watch your back. That's me. Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
Have you seen an elf running about? Young woman, red hair, carrying a suit of chain. Blast it. Where did she go? That suit better be patched up when she gets back, or by the maker up. Ah, pardon my manners. My troubles are no concern of yours, I'm sure. I'm the quartermaster. Did you come for supplies? Oh, I'm sure you have better things to do than run errands for me. I can find her myself. Let me know what you'd like. Hello again. Is there something you need? Some supplies, perhaps? Let me know what you'd like.
Hear the prayers of your sons and daughters. We who betrayed your prophet Andraste now beg your forgiveness. Do not abandon us in our darkest hour. Watch over the valiant King Caelan and guide him as he faces this terrible evil. Watch over Terran Logain and give him the wisdom to bring us victory against the Scourge of Shadow. Watch over Ferelden, the homeland of Holy Andraste. Keep her people safe from the Darkspawn. Let us bow our heads and offer prayers to the Maker, that he might find us worthy.
If you'll excuse me, we are praying.
This isn't good. I'd hate to waste such a promising member of the breed. Are you the new warden? I could use some help. This is a Mabari. Smart breed and strong. His owner died in the last battle, and the poor hound swallowed darkspawn blood. I have medicine that might help, but I need him muzzled first. You're a Grey Warden, or soon will be. All wardens are immune to the darkspawn taint. The most you have to worry about is some tooth marks. Centuries ago, a mage bred them to be smart and understand what they're told. They can remember and carry out complex orders. Most valuable dogs in the world. Trouble is, they generally imprint to one master. Re-imprinting them is very difficult. But without the medicine, re-imprinting won't be an issue. Will you help? We can try, but first we need to muzzle and medicate him. Go in the pen and let him smell you. We'll know right away if he'll respond. Let's hope this works. I'd really hate to have to put him down. Well done. Now I can treat the dog properly, poor fella. Come to think of it, are you heading into the wilds anytime soon? There's a particular herb I could use to improve the dog's chances. It's a flower that grows in the swamps here, if I remember. If you happen across it, I could use it. It's very distinctive, all white with a blood-red centre. It usually grows in dead wood that collects at the edge of ground pools. Should be plenty this time of year. Good. In the meantime, I'll begin treating our poor friend.
What do you need? You haven't brought more instructions from the town, I hope. If I feel like it. If you're not from the town, what do you want? We're busy. We aren't. We're ash warriors. Do you take everything so literally? Our training has been passed down since Lathias the Dwarf Son first harnessed the battle rage of the dwarves. It is an old tale. I am no bard, but I will do my best. Lathias was a claimed tribesman. Some said he was too short to be a warrior, but he was strong and fierce. his chieftain sent him to the dwarves of Orzammar to negotiate an alliance, where he fell in love with the king's daughter, Skya, and brought her back to his tribe. She taught Matthias to use the dwarven battle wrath to summon his strength and ignore all pain. Matthias then taught this to the Clane, who made him their chieftain. Matthias's prowess earned him the love of Morrigannon, a beautiful chieftain of another tribe. When Skya learned of his seduction, she returned to her people. Matthias was grieved. He sent Morrigannon away, but this only vexed her, and began a long war between their tribes. In the end, Matthias slew Morrigannon in single combat. However, his wounds were great, and he perished when the rage ended. The dwarves came from Orzammar that day and gave Matthias an honored burial in the mountains. And we live by his teachings even today. It is said that before the final battle, she returned to Matthias and gave him a shirt of dwarven chain, along with a final night of passion. Then she was gone forever. If she lived on in Orzammar, only the dwarven folk could say for certain. He was a great man with great passions. Perhaps you'll hear a more inspiring version in a tavern someday. They use scent to distinguish us from our enemies, but the blood of battle can confuse them. So we paint ourselves with caddis, which overpowers the blood, and also paint our hounds so they know we are the same. Why? Would you steal our caddis and give it to the Darkspawn hordes? If you tried, we would kill you. And that is no joke. My thanks. There is hunting to be done, and I'll not be kept from it.
Soldiers of Ferelden, my sisters and gentlefolk, we stand here on the eve of battle. Let us consider the evil before us.
Welcome, young woman. Yes, and you are a mage of the Circle. You must be familiar with the Tranquil who serve there. I create and oversee the enchantment of weapons and armor for the King's forces here at Ostagar. It is a time-consuming process, but invaluable. Enchantment provides the Circle its wealth. Certainly we would not get by on charity. It is the practice of folding magical lyrium into items first practiced by the dwarves. The Tranquil have learned their runes, and we use them to apply a variety of magical effects. We create the glow lights, as well as the magic staff or the flaming blade. The irony, perhaps, is that it is our very disconnection to our former talents that allows the Tranquil to work with lyrium so. A true mage could not. Runes exist that hold the power of the elements that increase strength or swiftness. Almost any spell can be given permanency, given enough skill and lyrium. Naturally, the greater the power required, the more expensive the rune will become to create. True power comes with a price, as we know only too well. Goodbye.
Hail to you.
I do not have time to speak at present, thank you.
I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted.
What do we have here? I heard the new Grey Warden recruit was from the Circle. I don't believe we've met, but I've certainly heard a lot about your talent. My name is Wynne, and I congratulate you on your harrowing, marvelous work. The Fade is a dangerous place. I thought the same. It's good you can admit that. So, a Grey Warden, fighting alongside the King. Not too shabby for someone just out of apprenticeship. The King must always seem confident. His behavior affects the troops' morale. He does seem to find his enthusiasm easily, though. Reminds me of a puppy. And I say that with both respect and affection. He is a fine man. To defeat the Darkspawn, we have to work together. It's not an idea everyone seems able to grasp. Some. Do you? Do you know about the connection between them and the Fade, for example? Anytime your spirit leaves your earthly body, whether it's to dream or to die, it passes into the realm we call the Fade. It's home to many spirits, some benevolent, others far less so. At the heart of the Fade lies the Black City. Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says. It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now. Yes, occasionally it's wise to contemplate one's actions. But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
Hail to you.
In the name of Andraste, I bless you today.
You need to convince them. We've got to run. The Darkspawn are coming. I saw them. We're gonna die.
I apologize, Warden. He's been like this ever since they found him in the wilds. The commander who brought him here didn't seem to think so.
You can feel it, can't you? They taint the land, turn it black and sick. Oh, you can feel it inside. They'll come out of that forest and spread. Like caterpillars covering a tree. They'll swallow us whole.
That's quite enough out of you. You need to calm yourself, my good man.
They were everywhere. I saw them. I don't want to see any more. I close my eyes and... Please just leave me be.
I apologize if the soldier disturbed you. Ever since they found him in the wilds, he's been like this. It's so sad.
It hurts so much. They're evil things sent by the Maker to punish us.
Greetings. You must be the third recruit we've heard about. Sir Jury is my name. I hail from Redcliffe, where I served as knight under the command of Arl Eamon. I was not aware they permitted women to join the Grey Wardens. None of those I've seen thus far have been. I had heard mages join, but, well, I had not, that is... Yes, I apologize. I have always found magic unnerving. I should be pleased that in this case it will be on our side. I suppose since you're finally here, I'd best get back to Duncan. I shall see you there.
Have you seen one of them close up?
Ah, I suspect you are one of the new Grey Wardens. Will you accept the Maker's blessing? Then I bless you, Grey Warden, in the name of Andraste and the Maker above. May the chant of light carry your name to the ears of our Lord.
Hail to you.
Sorry, miss. The army camp is off limits for you right now. Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me. No. They put someone like me in a cage until someone important has time to decide what to do with me. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you? All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving. I'm a deserter, or so they think. I bet there's no arguing them out of it, though. Armies are funny that way. I wasn't deserting. But when you catch someone sneaking around camp in the middle of the night, what else are you gonna think? Does it matter? All I want is a bit of food and water. Oh, I would have deserted eventually. Just not then. I was stealing, not sneaking out of the camp. I got one of those wizards drunk and took his key. It belongs to a chest they got here, full of magical treasures. In fact, I still have it. I can't use it from here, but I'd trade you for some food and water. I swallowed it, but it's come back into my possession since then, so to speak. Yeah, well, do you want the key or not? Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example. They say he was recruited before the war up in Dinnerham. Probably figured he'd never have to fight if he served the king, right? Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation. Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine. All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
So? Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away. Much obliged. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you. And, as I mentioned, here's the key. Use it in good health, huh?
May I? Oh,
Excuse me. I'm sorry, but there's so much to do before the battle. I must attend to my duties or I'll get the switch.
What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle?
I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together. It's like a party. We could all stand in a circle and hold hands. That would give the Darkspawn something to think about. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage. Hardly. I'd just like to know my chances of being turned into a toad at any given moment. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit from the Circle of Magi. I should have recognized you right away. I apologize. Good. You didn't exactly catch me at my finest with the mage there. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Alistair, the new Grey Warden. Though I guess you knew that. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining. Right, that was the name. You know, it just occurred to me that there have never been many women in the Grey Wardens. I wonder why that is. Would that be so terrible? Not that I'm some drooling lecher or anything. Please stop looking at me like that. So I'm curious. Have you ever actually encountered Darkspawn before? When I fought my first one, I wasn't prepared for how monstrous it was. I can't say I'm looking forward to encountering another. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started. With the mage, the Circle is here at the King's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are, which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar. Not that that's all Templars do, but yes, the Chantry raised me until Duncan recruited me 6 months ago. I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger, and the mage picked right up on that. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech. Davith and Sir Jory are here in the camp. Have you met them? That makes things easy then. They'll both be back with Duncan by now. You do? Huh. That's a switch. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on. Yes? As I said, I was trained as a Templar before Duncan recruited me about 6 months ago. The Chantry raised me, and becoming a Templar was a decision made for me a long time ago. Duncan saw I wasn't happy, and figured my training against mages could double for fighting Darkspawn. Now, here I stand, a proud Grey Warden. The Grand Cleric wouldn't have let me go if Duncan never forced the issue. I'll always be grateful to him. I spent years in that Chantry, hopelessly resigned to my fate. Duncan was the first person who cared what I wanted. He risked a lot of trouble with the Grand Cleric to help me. It just wasn't for me. I believe in the Maker well enough, but I never wanted to devote my life to the Chantry. What about? Duncan is the leader of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden, which he would say doesn't mean much, as there aren't many of us here. Yet, beyond that, he's a good man, a good judge of character. I owe him a lot. What about you? What do you think of him? That sounds familiar. He's done the best he can with what little he has. And that includes me, I guess. You want to ask me about something else? Of course. The Grey Wardens keep watch. We feel the Darkspawn when they come. You'll understand after the joining, if you... well, you'll understand. Not to mention people start to notice when Darkspawn pour out of the wilds and taint everything around them. Just a guess. Thousands, tens of thousands. They've had centuries to build up their numbers. You want the Chantry's version or the truth? According to the Chant of Light, the Maker imprisoned the old gods underground long ago, as punishment for tricking mankind into worshipping them. The old gods still whispered to some men and taught them magic. These men became the Magisters of the Tevinter Empire. The Magisters used their gift to enter the Golden City, tainting it and themselves. They were cast out by the Maker and became the first Darkspawn. They fled underground, bringing their taint to their gods. The tainted old gods were the archdemons who rose from their prisons and led the Darkspawn against the world. The truth is, we don't really know. They come up from the ground, and that's as far as we've gotten. Yes, and it nearly wiped us out. When defeated, the Darkspawn flee back underground and seek out another old god to taint, thus bringing another blight. We haven't seen it yet. People are beginning to think this is just an unusually large Darkspawn raid without an Archdemon to unify them. But seriously, the Archdemon could be in the wilds or underground. It could be hiding. Just because it hasn't shown itself doesn't mean it isn't out there. They've controlled the deep roads ever since they defeated the Dwarven kingdoms. Even if we invaded, we can only chase them so far. The Grey Wardens killed so many Darkspawn by the end of the last Blight, people decided they were gone for good. You want to ask me about something else? I wish I could tell you more. Maybe ask me again after Duncan speaks to you about it. You want to ask me about something else? The one tomorrow. I'll tell you. It's Tairn Loghain we should be looking to win it, not the king. Caelan just wants his place in history. But Tairn is planning the strategy. That's my opinion, anyway. I guess I should be thankful the king favors us Grey Wardens. But I know who's keeping the lid on the pot. You know, that's a good question. The other Grey Wardens are riding into battle with the king. I don't know if you'll be with them. If we don't break the horde here, Duncan says it will spread until it engulfs all of Ferelden. Then it will take an alliance of nations to fight it, which would be bad. Neither the king nor the Tairn really seems to believe this is a real blight, however. We're at the edge of the Korkari Wilds, the eye of the Blight storm, right where the Horde will be coming. Ostagar itself is in excellent defensive position. The Wilders were pushed back from here time and again in ancient days. You want to ask me about something else? Then let's get a move on, shall we?
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Korkari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood, 1 for each recruit. For the joining itself, I'll explain more once you've returned. Of course. You must work together to collect the components, however. It's as much a part of the joining as what comes after. There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can. Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with. It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true. It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search. No, but the effort must be made. I have every confidence you are up to the task. Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.